everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Dolphins going up against the Chiefs. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Time to feature the offensive starters. And our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. A group of Chiefs there to make the stop that time. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
Marcus Peters is a former first-round pick who has great anticipation and tremendous ball skills.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Play action. It's Tannehill. And caught by Cameron right side. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Miami. 57 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're...
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great effort there. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Travis Coons now to add the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. Coons on now to kick this one away following the score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Shift together here from the D-line. And a first carry of the game here for Trey Mason. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Now Mason. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And here's a look at the defensive unit that hopes to halt this offense today. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
4 yards remaining now on 2nd down. Now they run. It's Mason. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is caught. Jeremy Macklin. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Trey Mason taking it in. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
A little educational piece. I know a lot of people here, 3-4, 4-3, etc. Take us through the 4-3, Charles.
Okay, 4-3. 4 down defensive linemen, usually 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends. Behind them, the 3 those are the linebackers. The middle linebacker, often known as the Mike, with 2 outside linebackers, the Sam and the Will. There's your 4-3.
Sam on the strong side, Will on the weak side. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
12 yards on the return that time. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And this one is incomplete. Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Out of the gun now on third down. He gets it to Brown, complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
It fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Corey Brown, 35 yards. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them.
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. So this defense clicking early in the year, week one, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Dolphins now. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. He's got time. Going deep here for Landry. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jarvis Landry, 72 yards. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. And his kick is right through. Coons on now to kick this one away following the score. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. So the offense needing 4 yards. It's 3rd down. Now back to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now they go screen. It's complete. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled. So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guys' jersey clean throughout the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to try for Brown, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be a second down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. To throw is Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They go play action here on first down. Finding time. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
The intended receiver was Trey Mason, and it's third down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that's incomplete. The veteran Jeremy Maclin was the intended target, and that brings up fourth down. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Second down now after the incompletion. Out of the gun, Tannehill. He's going to wind up and air it out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. Now a play fake here on first down. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Mason. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. The play clock's running down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
We're back now in KC. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Surveying the field. Forced out to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 13 on the pickup there. Good enough for a Kansas City first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run here with Mason. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle here to Brown. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. He'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So a big one coming now for Cairo Santos. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
They come out here in the eye, and they'll run it here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw, Tannehill. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down. Pass situation.
Here's Tannehill. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. It worked very well there for a first down.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Tannehill, he's going to look deep now for Landry. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
All right, here we go.
On the ground again, it's Mason. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run again with Mason. And he's brought down. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting to run. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They come up in an offset eye.
Let's go.
On second down, Jamal Charles. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. They come out here in the eye. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Charles, 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. One last throw here for Tannehill. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together,